UPSC articulated learning, nuances of learning through associated PVQs is quintessential for this UPSC examination. Therefore, this Meditational mentorship, which is providing you C.A.R.E. Current Affairs Reverse Engineering, is going to be started on 1st November. Students who are interested to join this course can subscribe to it, and it is very nominally available for all aspirants just at the cost of rupees. And our old students can also subscribe to it. Therefore, they will get the alignment which is exactly on the lines of UPSC in terms of thinking line and alignment, assessment, analysis, and elimination techniques. Everything will be given you one-stop solution, and this upscale program will contain 10,000 MCQs, at the same time 500 plus mains questions and answers, 300 plus classes, intensive test class explanations, right? All the very best to this program who are going to subscribe it, and first come first serve basis, only 50 students will be taken to give intensive marathon training for them. For this training will start 1st November onwards, and those who want to join this course, they can directly contact me at our Delhi campus. This is 18 by 1, exactly opposite to Agarwal Suites, Old Rajendra Nagar, and also this program available at our residential campus, and that is Shamshabad residential campus and RTCX Road. That is our day scholar program for the Hyderabad students, and students who are subscribing to it at our regional centers can also access to me directly online every day, and at the same time there are mentors who are trained by me and available for you 24/7 there. All the very best for your program, and this is an intensive marathon program for your prelims mains examination, because it will contain 10,000 MCQs, at the same time 500 plus mains questions and answers, 300 plus hours of classes, intensive in nature, which can cover holistically all the MCQs and associated PVQs. And coming to our first C.A.R.E. initiative article here. The article is talking about Supreme Court sets October 31st for hearing electoral bonds case. Here the electoral bonds are passed on the name of money bill. Therefore, the Supreme Court of India has been in wait and watch policy to witness various other segments of the IT rules and policies, because if there is a tax deduction available by the donor, tax deduction is taken by the donor who is giving those electoral bonds to the political party, then this electoral bond scheme may be considered as a money bill. Therefore, we are not saying anything now. This is only a discussion which is happening. This is the statement given by the Justice Chandrachud, okay, Chief Justice of India, and there is a case filed against these electoral bonds which is lacking such in transparency, and also it is not bringing any kind of accountability of the political parties who are paying them, and the anonymity of the donor is creating that the possibility of money laundering and misuse of the funds that are which are evaded in the form of taxes, right? And nexus between the crony capitalism and nexus between business industries and the political parties, which is a threat to the democracy and inclusivity. Therefore, this is a violation of Article 19 because it is not including Right to Information Act, and at the same time it is not giving equal protection of law and equality before law under Article 14 and Article 21, that is right to privacy and personal liberty, and this right to life and personal liberty. And therefore, the article must be very important in the form of UPSC, because UPSC has asked related to Dinesh Goswami committee, which has recommended that funding of parliamentary election, regarding funding of parliamentary election, and with regard to this electoral bond scheme 2018, which of the following statements, and how many of the statements are correct, not which of the following here. Here only those political parties registered under section 29A of Representation Act 1951 and secured not less than 1% of votes polled in last general elections. The party which has secured not less than 1% of votes under this section 29A of Representation of People's Act 1951 are eligible to take these electoral bonds from an anonymous person. And next, they will be valid for a period of 15 days from the date of issue. Yes, if a person has issued this electoral bond on 1st March something, hypothetically, and this will be valid till 15th March. And next, all transactions involving an electoral bond will take place through the verified account that the Election Commission of India will assign to the party. All transactions electoral bond will take place through the verified account which is provided by this Election Commission of India, that verified account, which will assign that money to the party. And the donor's name will not appear on the electoral bonds. Okay, donor's name will not be appeared on the electoral bonds. And go to the explanation part. Here the explanation is talking like here. See, any party that has obtained 1% votes, already I have told you that as per this section 29A, which is registered as a political party of the Representation of People's Act, is eligible to receive electoral bonds, and the donor's name will not appear on those electoral bonds, and it is a verified account by this Election Commission of India, and it is valid for 15 days after its issue. Next, women want change, society needs change. Here the entire article is not important. There are many subjective opinions regarding Indira Gandhi. After the death of Father Nehru, Indira did not become the Prime Minister, and she had to wait until the death of the Lal Bahadur Shastri, but Rajiv Gandhi became directly Prime Minister after the death of Indira Gandhi. That is a kind of gender disparity comparison made by the senior advocate Supreme Court of India, Vibha Datta. I haven't understood the dynasty politics that has been witnessed here. However, in that also there is gender disparity that is seen here, and here only the information which is related to our women reservation important, because UPSC has asked those questions with regard to Begum Janara Shah Nawaz, a Muslim League member, and also that Sarojini Naidu, who wrote a letter to the first roundtable conference which held in 1931, roundtable conference, that they denied the women reservation representation to legislative assemblies. Here the statements given there based on the UPSC Civil Service Examination 2021, they have asked about the reservation of women in those legislative councils. Montague-Chelmsford reforms of 1919 recommended granting voting rights to all the women. All the women is extreme statement, it can be comfortably eliminated. And the Government of India Act 1935 gave reservation seats to women in the legislature. That may be fine, no problem. With respect to Montague-Chelmsford, same statement is taken here. So first statement is incorrect, because we have taken the same statement given in the MCQ of previous years. And the Government of India Act of 1935 gave women reserved seats in the legislature. Yes, that is true. It is also a statement. And next two statements. Sarojini Naidu, Begum Janara Shah Nawaz wrote a letter during first round table conference demanding reservation for women. No, they denied reservation for women because it is not a sympathetic or empathetic grounds that women empowerment can take place. That was their statement. However, the author denied such statement given by Sarojini Naidu, Begum Janara, because they have come from elite backgrounds, they are well privileged, they can talk like that, and that was the statement given by them. Therefore, and underprivileged people like Indira Gandhi should be promoted as Prime Minister immediately after death of Jawaharlal Nehru, as much as the Prime Minister, Rajiv Gandhi became Prime Minister. That may be considered gender equality. Okay, next, that was author expressed that opinion only. You can read that article. I have directly told you the gist of that article. Next, I treasure trove field notes from the forest of Arunachal Pradesh. There are few wildlife researchers and field visits and their research projects which have witnessed various kinds of biosphere reserves and national parks, wildlife sanctuaries in the Arunachal Pradesh, and several national parks, wildlife sanctuaries were also asked by UPSC previous times. Example, Namdafa Tiger Reserve is mentioned here. Also, it is better known than Kamlang. And next thing, Mishmi community also mentioned in this article, Mishmi community, Namdafa National Park and Kamlang. Next, coming to Moling National Park and Clouded Leopard National Park also mentioned there. Dibang Dihang Biosphere Reserve also mentioned there in the article. Please remember all these things, because there is a Paiku Wildlife Sanctuary which is asked by UPSC in 2018, located in Arunachal Pradesh. You need to remember the border frontier states and the wildlife sanctuaries, national parks located there. Here, Moling National Park and Clouded Leopard National Park located in it, and it has natural vegetation stretching in unbroken sequence from the tropics to mountain tundra. Actually, one map I have to show you, that here Upper Siang and West Siang. You please go through this map once again. I am stretching it. See, West Siang and Upper Siang, which is exactly containing the Dibang Dihang Biosphere Reserve, and this Biosphere Reserve also extended to Dibang Valley, and this Upper Siang, West Siang and Dibang Valley region, triangular in nature. This triangular shape is containing the Biosphere Reserve which I have mentioned, Dihang Dibang. Okay. Next, see, only second statement is correct. First statement has an issue, because Moling National Park and Dibang Wildlife Sanctuary are located fully or partly within the Biosphere Reserve. The reserve spreads over 3 districts, Dibang Valley, just now I have said, Upper Siang and West Siang. So I have shown you the map also, and please go through that map and remind all the, recall all the wildlife sanctuaries located there. And Mishmi Hills, Eastern Himalayas mountains, till that it is expanded, the Dibang Biosphere Reserve is spread over that. Next, state-owned NBFCs put under these prompt corrective action norms. What does it mean? This prompt corrective action is an earlier detection of default situation of any company. So, such default situation which is witnessed and immediately understood by these RBI and other authorities, then immediately Government of India will come into picture and making as a savior, especially in the form of RBI's regulations. And this kind of prompt corrective action may also take place when an NBFC may be in future going to face such a default situation. Few government public sector NBFCs also coming under this prompt corrective action. So, immediate intervention of the supervisory entity is also important, because immediate intervention may take place at any time by the RBI with the help of the supervisory entity to look after the potential market discipline situation for any group of companies. So, the group of companies which are exceeding their loans may be warned by the supervisory entity, and that may be reported to the RBI in the form of, and such corrections may be actually suggested by the RBI, that is known as prompt corrective action. So, simply I have given you the total gist of this prompt corrective action in layman terms, and go through this statement, therefore, you can understand and how to handle this question. Consider the following statement regarding prompt corrective action framework. Here Reserve Bank of India had introduced this for scheduled commercial banks in 2002, and it is intended to act as a tool for effective market discipline. And next, it does not allow for any additional corrective actions by RBI beyond those prescribed in it. This may be a wrong statement, because RBI may intervene if it is going under a default situation and exceeding its loan availability, and market discipline may be disrupted. Therefore, RBI for any additional correction and correction related activities and actions can be taken by RBI. Next, it is not applicable to government non-banking finance corporation. Actually, it is applicable to non-banking finance corporations. Just now I have told you that there are few NBFCs coming under these prompt corrective actions: REC, PFC, IRFC, IFCI. These are NBFCs of RBI which are also corrected by this prompt corrective action. Next, the chairman of public sector banks are selected by Banks Board Bureau. This is one of the PYQs. Therefore, this information is important. Commercial banks and few NBFCs are also coming under this prompt corrective action to make them disciplined with respect to their financial position, and also correct their default situation if they may face in the future times. This is what the explanation is given here. And this article is talking about two concepts. One is related to cyclogenesis and causes, and second one is about waste, warm, arctic and cold Eurasian. You need to learn these two concepts. The fundamentals are important. However, these are in a stage of observation by the scientists. They are not concluding that this is the reason behind the change or shift of these cyclonic storms from Arabian waters to Atlantic part. Coming to this part, cyclogenesis, the cause. Here sea surface temperatures, the one cause that is causing the cyclone, forming the cyclone, and second one is about heat content, the capacity of heat retention by this oceanic water, and third one is surface movement of the wind and also movement of the wind towards upper atmosphere. These are also causes for the formation of the cyclone, and that is what they are talking about. And second aspect is about, instead of focusing on predicting the change of climate by 2100, we need to better understand our neighborhood, natural variability. Natural variability means the changing climate pattern without having any anthropogenic activity. Okay. So, you need to understand that natural cycle of changing atmospheric belts across the world. That is also important. Therefore, scientists are unable to conclude which is major cause, whether it is cause of anthropogenic activity or it is very natural and intrinsic in nature due to the shift of cyclones from Arabian waters in 1990s to the present times towards atmosphere, that means Atlantic one. Here the concept is, second concept in the form of MCQ we are reading. The first concept is about cyclogenesis, and second, that is very easy to understand, the causes for the formation of cyclone, and second one is quite difficult to understand. Basic fundamentals are important to understand ITCZ and pressure gradient force and pressure belts also. Here warm, arctic, cold, Eurasian is primarily a pattern primarily driven by variations in atmospheric circulation phenomenon. Variations in atmospheric circulation phenomenon driven by which atmospheric circulation? Here North Atlantic oscillation. Why have we chosen such a question? Because Indian Ocean dipole, which has come several times in newspapers, therefore UPSC has chosen such a question, Indian Ocean dipole, and El Nino was also asked by UPSC. Kindly remember. So, warm, arctic, cold Eurasian pattern is primarily driven by North Atlantic oscillation. So what is this oscillation? Very simple. Here high pressure belt, here low pressure one. From the movement of the wind from highs to low, this subtropical highs to subpolar lows. This is a basic oscillation which takes place, that is named as North Atlantic oscillation. Simple. The concept is simple. That is named as North Atlantic oscillation. That oscillation may be shifted due to the changing climate, right? And the axis of the earth is tilted, and this may be causing the shifting of this ITCZ, intertropical convergence zone. These basic concepts are important. We are unable to explain all the concepts. Please remember those ITCZ. It can easily be understood by you, and also various atmospheric belts are spread across the world. This is one such atmospheric belt, North Atlantic oscillation. This is named as, and here upper atmospheric level, the wind is moving from highs to lows. At the lower atmospheric level, here you will be having over the surface high pressure, and it is moving towards this place, right? This belt is known as North Atlantic oscillation. And coming to this North Atlantic oscillation, which is causing and driving this Arctic one, warmer one, and also this Eurasian part, colder one, because this the wind, the upper atmospheric movement, that is the wind which is moving from highs to low, during that time the jet stream may drive it towards the right, and it may, the cold breezes which are going towards this Iceland part may be driven towards right, and also the Coriolis force which may drive it towards right may cause Eurasian part much colder, Eurasian part, and Eurasian part is also in a stage of continentality. Therefore, and at the same time, this warm Arctic Ocean, this part is becoming warmer because of this warm Arctic is rapidly losing the sea ice. Okay, rapid sea ice loss. This is also causing such kind of warm, causing Arctic part warmer. So these are the conditions that are related to waves. Warm Arctic and cold Eurasian. In a simpler terms, I have described you. Please go through this one, because we have uploaded the PDF also, and you need to do a little bit of research. And this one, it has also mentioned that this pattern results in warming over Barents, C.A.R.E seas and cooling over Central Eurasian. Okay, what is this Barents, C.A.R.E sea? I have displayed you in the map here. It is Barents Sea and C.A.R.E sea, which is in the midst of these Scandinavian countries and also this Russian part, but it is mostly located in the Arctic Ocean part. Okay, and you please remember Leptev Sea and Bering Strait. Please find out where it is in the map. It is mentioned in the comment section too. This is quite interesting article. Basic physics is involved here. When the sun and rain mingle. Here, when the sun shines after rain, we often see an arc of beautiful colors in the part of sky opposite to the sun. This is because of three phenomena involved: dispersion, refraction, and reflection, right? So what does it mean? Here rainbow is typically observed in an arc shape due to reflection and refraction of sunlight as it interacts with the raindrop. When it interacts with the raindrop, raindrop will act as a prism. When it touches the surface of inner part of that raindrop, which is in circular shape, therefore it will emit that light in the form of VGR, that is violet, indigo, like various colors. So the reflection and also the refraction, internally it is taking place, and it is dispersed because at various parts of this raindrop that sunlight is incidental. Okay, the sunlight has been incidental on various parts of this internal surface of the raindrop which is acting as a prism, which can disperse in the form of various colors. Here you need to understand the horizon, because the movement of the sun is upwards, therefore you can see much brighter rainbow. If the movement of the sun is lower than the horizon of the person who is seeing here, therefore they cannot see the brighter rainbow. So therefore the sun which is moving upwards can give you a brighter rainbow. The sun which is going downwards may not be giving you such kind of brighter rainbow. Okay, this is also important. However, if it is moving 40 degrees above the line, therefore it is very difficult for you to see a clear transparent rainbow. That is also important. So the horizon is also important. Earth-sun relationship, that means a person who is standing above this mountain part and looking towards the sun, which is exactly arising at this time. Therefore you can see the horizon are exactly the bright color of the rainbow, not only in the arc form, in the total circular form you can see. If you are above this mountain part, right, and you are seeing that horizon which is arising, the sun, during the time of horizon of the sun, this is called rainbow formation. And also the droplet which is acting as a prism, and internally the ray which is entered may refracted and reflected and finally dispersed into various colors. This is the concept, basic physics concept and application oriented concept that we have read in our 8th class NCERT. The position of the sun in the sky affects the appearance of the rainbow, with the bow appearing lower in the sky as the sun rises higher. Despite raindrops forming a circular pattern, when observed from the earth's surface, a rainbow will appear as an arc because of the limitation by horizon. Okay, limitation by horizon means you need to understand this concept. Here the observer on the earth, it will look like an arc as it is limited by horizon. When the sun is near the horizon, an observer on a higher mountain in hot air balloon may see the whole circle for the rainbow, may see the whole circle if the observer is standing above the mountain part. So, this kind of circular shape can be seen, otherwise it looks like an arc. So, the part is the higher the sun, the lower the bow, because the lower the bow, the brighter the you can see. Next, even if there are enough raindrops from a circle, form a circle for an observer, that it will look like an arc because it is limited by horizon. Next, WhatsApp traceability under IT rules 2021 faces Tripura test. Here, a screenshot of a fake resignation letter bearing the forged signature of a chief minister of the Tripura. Therefore, the police forces went to court, that means the local court, which gave permission to track down that fraud message, fake information, and it has posed a question related to 2021 Information Technology Intermediary Guidelines and Digital Media Ethics Code. It allows the identification of first originator of a message as per this IT 2021 rule, ethical code of conduct to these digital intermediaries, that is related to WhatsApp, Telegram. Likewise, it allows the identification of the first originator of the message on a social media platform if the request is backed by a judicial order, because recently the local court has given such an order to inquire into such fake originator, the original message which is actually backed by a judicial, that inquiry can be taken by backing up with a judicial order in cases involving serious crimes like rape or threats to national security. And second, in complying with an order for identification of first generator, a significant social media intermediary is required to disclose the contents of any electronic message. All information related to the first originator and information related to other originator. Actually, I need to give you very simple thing, that no significant media intermediary, mean the digital media, social media intermediary, no digital media intermediary shall be required to disclose the contents of electronically produced message, that fake message, shall be not, because of the backup given by the court itself is not an authentic one, to disclose the information of the originator and electronic message generated in the form of fake information, and any other information related to such first originator or any information related to its other users also. So, this is not actually one backing up element for an intermediary to release the first originator details. Okay. Next, increase in farm insurance enrollments for 2 years in a row. Farm insurance enrollment, because Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, it is a kind of security to the farm loss, the loss incurred due to various calamities. However, there are certain exceptions given there. We need to learn those exceptions because UPSC may frame based on that. But this Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana is saying that 22% enrollment has been increased. It is reached up to 24 million farmers who subscribed to that scheme. Okay, and they will get subsidized around here. They need to pay only 1.5% and 2% of the premium, between 1.5% to 2% premium. During for Kharif crops, they need to pay only 2%. For Rabi crops, they need to pay only 1.5%. With respect to horticulture crops that are commercial crops, 5% of the premium. And here Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, losses arising out of war, nuclear and malicious damage are not covered under this scheme. However, this scheme may consider droughts, dry spell, flood, inundation, widespread pests, diseases attacks, landslides, fire due to natural causes, lightning, storm and hailstorm, cyclone. These will be covered under this. Therefore, previously UPSC has asked such a kind of question in 2016. See, under this scheme, farmers will have to pay uniform premium of 2% for any crop they cultivate in any season for the year. This scheme covers post-harvest losses arising out of cyclones and unseasonal rains. This can also be considered. However, this is important that we will have to pay uniform premium of 2% for any crop, not any crop. Here 2% for Kharif crop, 1.5% for Rabi crop. The second statement is talking about post-harvest losses occurred out of these cyclones and unseasonal rains. This is right statement, okay. And however, it is having certain exemptions that war, nuclear risks and malicious damage are not covered under this scheme. Apart from the list of risks notified in the scheme, state government can add others which are local in nature. No, state government cannot add which are local in nature for those crops. Only the prescribed crops can be given and insurance, okay, with this premium support. Next, a premium of 5% is applicable to annual horticulture and commercial crops. That is fine. Only two statements are correct. Post-harvest losses and pre-harvest one, pre-sowing times also, preventive sowing, planting, germination. This is due to, this can claim only 25% of the total insured amount, because it is only due before any sowing time, and during the sowing time also. Germination due to deficit of rainfall. If it is deficit of rainfall, the germination did not take place, therefore 25% of the premium amount will be insured to the farmer. And standing crop, sowing to harvesting. Standing crop, this is also important. Comprehensive risk insurance is provided to cover yield losses due to non-preventable risks. I mean drought, dry spell, flood, already I have told you. And post-harvest losses may also contain cyclones, cyclonic rains, hailstorms, and localized calamities, loss, damage to be notified insured crops resulting from occurrences of identified localized risks of hailstorm. However, the add-on coverage for crop loss due to attack by wild animals means the state may consider providing add-on coverage for crop loss due to attack by wild animals wherever the risk is perceived to be substantial and is identifiable. Okay. Therefore, state may not be having complete discretion here, and there are certain exemptions provided to it. And next, general exclusion are related to war and nuclear risks and malicious damage. Next, started process to set up GST tribunals. What is this GST tribunal? Here the article hasn't mentioned anything about it. We have given you the question in the form of question, the entire information related to GST appellate tribunal. It is a forum of which is not first appeal against the first appeal. It is a forum against the first appeal in the GST laws, and the first common forum of dispute resolution between center and states. Next, the National Bench of Appellate Tribunal shall be located in New Delhi, that is true, and it will have a president and two technical members, one representing the center and the other representing the state. Actually, it will be having as president, two technical members from center and state respectively. Here GST is related to a destination based consumption tax that was asked by UPSC CAPF in 2022 last year. These are the statements given regarding GST appellate tribunal, already given there in the form of MC. Here the next article is talking about Russia loses bid to regain seat on Human Rights Council. Directly we are going to the previous year questions and questions related to it. Which of the statements given about Human Rights Council is incorrect here? Here it is an intergovernmental body within UN system made up of all countries is wrong, because 47 countries are elected by UN General Assembly members, and those 47 countries will be retained in that seat for 3 years, okay. And there is a continental wise distribution for those representing countries, and headquarters is located in Geneva, it is fine. And here United Nations Commission on Human Rights, actually it is important that you need to learn the entire organization structure, because distributed along that, I mean structure means the members who are representing it from various continents to critically analyze it. That is why I have said important, because 13 from African group, 13 from Asia Pacific group, almost 70% of the world is in between these African and Asia Pacific country, okay, part, and remaining 30% is representing half of the UN Human Rights Council. Here see, Western Europe is taken as separate group to enhance their representation, and next Latin American and Caribbean group is given 8, but 6 for the Eastern European group again. The Latin American and Caribbean group is almost above the European Union in terms of population and space, right. Not European Union, means at least the significant population who have to be represented from various continents have to be proportional to the space and to the population, okay. But here 6 as part of Eastern group, Eastern European group, 7 for the Western European group. So, the Europe is divided into Eastern, Western, and the representation is increased. And with respect to India and China and Africa Pacific and all the countries are only 13 and 13 in nature. So, maybe scientific alignment that is taken during the time is biased towards the West. That was a criticized one, which I have read with respect to the Western domination of European, international institutions, and UNSC is one such example, and related to various examples that are dominated by example World Bank, IMF, and please go through those critical aspects, and we have given you various mains questions also. You please go through the document which